only 5% of Republicans saying the government should shut down. We can clearly see what's going on here.
Well, wasn't this Chuck Schumer saying that this was a biased poll?
Right.
I mean, from the New York Times, that just, I was so glad that he got a round of laughter from that. But no, I mean, the demands are ridiculous. The demands are $1.5 trillion additional spend. What they want to do is basically reverse the bill that we just passed. All of those good things that we did for working families, for seniors, for the border, just to support, crime in communities. They're trying to basically undo all that. And so it's $1.5 trillion. They are adding it, they want to spend an additional $500 million for liberal media stations. They want to give billions of dollars away to foreign countries for their climate programs. They want to add, again, they want to give back healthcare, free healthcare to folks who should never be in our country. This is what they're willing to the hill that they're willing to die on. And I think Republicans are holding strong. Thank God that during a shutdown, it's during the Trump administration where they're taking it seriously. They are prioritizing those agencies and those programs that affect people. Unlike Obama administration, he wanted to make it as painful as possible for the American public. You've got this, this administration that's taking it seriously and is trying to prevent the American public from even recognizing that we're in a shutdown. But the fact is, it's going to end up costing us about $400 million a day.
Yeah. I think over and over again, it cannot be repeated enough. This CR, continuing resolution, is to continue the Biden-Pelosi budget from last year that they crafted and Democrats supported for another 7 weeks. And yet, Minority Leader, Democrat Leader Hakeem Jeffries told Americans that we're in a shutdown because of Republicans' extreme positions. Take a listen.
For decades, Republicans have consistently shut the government down as part of their efforts to try to extract and jam their extreme right-wing agenda down the throats of the American people.
13 times Republicans voted to do a CR during the Biden years, didn't shut the government down. Democrats didn't like shutting the government down until they do.
No, the Democrats are the ones who kept pushing for the CR during the Biden administration. They're the ones who kept pushing for additional funding. This is not a radical agenda. This is the agenda that people voted for in November. What Democrats are doing is actually the radical agenda. Again, they want to add another $1.5 trillion. They want to give more dollars, more money to folks who are illegally in our country. This is something that Americans have fought against. They're sick of seeing their taxpayer dollars that they make, handed out to people, who have crossed into our country illegally. But when you think about the Democrats, they have an opportunity right now to do the right thing, but they are going to keep trying to get more and more of their radical agenda. At the end of the day, you're going to have 1.3 million military members, active military duties, who are not getting paid. You're going to have, thousands and thousands of Coast Guard that aren't getting paid, people in Homeland Security that aren't getting paid. You've got WIC benefits that are going to expire next week. For a party that claims to really care about working Americans, they are really throwing them under the bus just to be able to get headlines, to pound their chest. And let's face it, at the end of the day, this is all political. I know New Yorkers think it's all about them, but in this case, it's all about Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer does not want to lose face a second time, even though it means doing the exact same thing that he's done a dozen times already, and he's afraid to give AOC the upper hand.
It just doesn't make sense, as you said, that this is the hill they want to die on. This is a 90-10 issue, not even an 80-20 issue when you're talking about giving health care to illegal migrants. When you look at how people voted, including Democrats, last November, they were done with handing out things to people who shouldn't be in this country in the first place. But this is what they seem to be fighting for right now.
Well, they keep doubling down on crazy, right? I mean, who are they defending? They're defending illegal folks. They're not defending their citizens. They're defending, people who are criminals. They're not defending their citizens. And who's getting hurt? The working families are getting hurt, and innocent people, moms, dads, children are getting hurt. But look at the last 4 years under the Biden administration. They were never defending, the American people, and they weren't honestly defending the people who were coming over to this country, for amnesty either. They were allowing people to be sex trafficked. They were allowing kids to get lost.
Good point.
We don't know what the Democrats stand for. The Democrats don't know what the Democrats stand for. It's like they're just throwing things out onto the, to figure out what sticks. But what they're pushing so far, I don't think anybody's buying. All
right, real quickly, Congresswoman, yes or no, are you still going to be dealing with this on Monday when you get back to Washington, D.C.?
I honestly think under the Trump administration, they have a strategy to deal with this. They win either way. We either open the government back up and we can go into negotiations, or they keep the government closed and we relinquish, Congress relinquishes its ability to be able to govern to the White House during a shutdown. And I think they've got a strategy moving forward that exactly right. They are going to look at ways of being able to streamline and right-size the government, which is going to be exactly the opposite of what Democrats want. So I think you're going to see Democrats come to the table sooner rather than later.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.